Good morning. My name is Fred Northup Jr. I am honored to be here. I live across the street from Lincoln Park. How many people here, round of applause, live in West Seattle? Yes. How many do not live in West Seattle? Wow. Thank you for making the long commute here to the island. We appreciate your support. Well, I'm going to bring up the president of the board. But before I do, a little history. As a girl, our president, Marcy, grew up in our Log House Museum building, which in 1904 was the carriage house for the Alki homestead, which of course is the theme for today's gala. So please welcome the president of the Board of Trustees, Marcy Johnson, everybody.
Hello. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see so many beautiful faces in this room. Thank you all for coming. And thank you for supporting our Southwest Seattle Historical Society. Because without you and without many, many people who couldn't be here today and who've passed on, we wouldn't be where we are today. And it's just phenomenal. We have so many people who are supporters, volunteers, board members. We've got many, many people to thank, and I'm going to leave that to someone else. But thank you so much. We are celebrating coming home to the homestead, and our parent building, the Fur Lodge, is being restored. We're so excited about it, so thank you so much. I want to introduce our executive director, Clay Eels. There's probably not a person in this room who doesn't know Clay, and if you don't, you will by the end of today, I'm sure, because that's the kind of guy he is. And again, because of your support and how much we've grown, we were able to hire an executive director. So please welcome Clay Eels.
Well, I'm sorry it's so empty in here. Thank you all for coming. We have a packed program. We are going to move it along as quickly as we can. And I promise we will get you out of here by 2 o'clock. We're aiming to do it before then. And we have a lot to cover. As Marcy said, our theme this year, it's the obvious theme, of course, is coming home to the homestead. And this year, you ought to know, many of you don't know how long we've been around. It is our 31st anniversary this year. And before I introduce or say anything else, there's one person that all of you need to know. This organization was founded 31 years ago by a man who I still admire, even though he's not around. His spirit lives within all of us. His name is Elliot Cowden. And we have his wife here today. She celebrated earlier this year her 100th anniversary. Irma Cowden, give her a hand. Here she is at her birthday party. You can look up on the screen while I'm talking. We celebrated her birthday at Horizon House, and there's Mayor Greg Nichols. We still call him the mayor, right? And Sharon? The only mayor of Seattle from West Seattle. And then we are also honored today to have 2 elected officials in the room, and they are both West Seattle through and through. I want both of them to stand up, and I want you to give them a round of applause. They've been so helpful to us. King County Executive Dow Constantine and Seattle City Council member Tom Rasmussen. I've been telling people for months that this room, this event, this moment, this is West Seattle. And there's no better way to demonstrate that than the public officials we have here taking their time to commit themselves to us. And we also have very special people for you to acknowledge. And I would like them all to stand up. And one is a volunteer in the way back, Dorfe, but it's our Board of Trustees. Please stand up and give your highest applause for Marcy Johnson, Tia Hallberg, Peter Nelson, Ron Arendt, Dorfe Hendricks, Carrie Korsgaard, Tasha Miller, and Nancy Sorensen. All around the room. And we also could not be successful without an advisory council of experts who help us in all kinds of ways. We call on them for various duties. I'm not going to read all their names to you, but they're up on the screen. And today we have 10 of them in the room. Please look at the screen, and maybe somebody who you're just elbowing with is right next to you on our advisory council. Give them a hand. And then most of you would not be here without the help of our table captains. Our table captains are the ones who, by personal invitation, get you here today. And just look at this long list of table captains, and this list continues to grow every year. We deeply appreciate all of them. Please take a look at this list. Let's give a round of applause for the table captains. And then this event would not happen at all without what I call our On Fire Gala Committee. We have, most of them are in the back. Some of them are here in the room. I'm going to read their names. These people have been meeting since January to make this event as special as it is right now. Joan Cahill, Lauren Cardinal, Tara Cummins, Liz Day, Crystal Dean, Sandy Donnan, Kathy Blackwell, Colleen Shaw, Diane Venti, and Katie Vondrak. Give them a hand. And the next group is the people who are here today volunteering for you. And there are so many names. Just take a look at how many of them. They're the ones who checked you in and are going to help all the way through this event. Please give our volunteers for the day of your best round of applause. And as Marcy alluded to, we have grown to the point where we actually have a professional staff. And we have a museum manager, we have a bookkeeper, we have a gardener, and then of course we have an executive director. Lissa Kramer, where are you? I would like you to stand up, and please give Lissa a round of applause. We're so happy to have her this year. Where is she? Where is Lissa? You know, we got to get these pillars to be transparent someday. And then we have a list of people. Please glance over this list. It's in your program. Special thanks for today to all of these people who have helped it. And this time, we're going to go to our sponsors. We could not exist without our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, for the very first time in our history, we have a presenting sponsor. And the presenting sponsor is the Kenny. Our next sponsor, Homestead level sponsor. Actually, we have the very, very busy Kathy Kingen in the room with us today. Come on up, Kathy, for just a half a minute. They are a Homestead level sponsor. It's table 17, and they have several other reps. Kathy, it's yours.
Thank you. I wanted to welcome everyone here to Salty's. My husband Jerry and I own this restaurant. We're very fortunate to be the ones that Joyce Entis chose to sell it to. And this year we celebrated her life as she passed. Many of you knew Joyce, and she owned the Beach Broiler and then came and stayed with us at Salty's for 15 years and became like my mother and my daughter's grandmother and part of our family. And anyway, so I celebrate her and honor her today. And this building is such a part of the history of West Seattle. It's over 100 years old, and it started as a flour mill and then transitioned a few times, but here we are at Salty's, just steeped in this history of West Seattle. So I want to welcome you all here, and thanks for coming and supporting the Southwest Seattle Historical Society. And I want to take a moment just to thank Clay Eels for being the incredible leader. I think he's like the Superman of West Seattle, and I'm really proud of him.
Thank you, Kathy. Where's my cape? The next Homestead level sponsor we have is another restaurant, but that goes beyond just here. This is Duke's Chowder House. We have 3 from Duke's Chowder House. We partnered with them over this past year, and you'll hear a little bit more about the Alaska Totem Cruise. Duke, would you please stand and give a wave here? Duke Moskrip of Duke's Chowder House. We also have a Homestead level sponsor in DCG1. Maybe you don't know what DCG1 is, but that program on your table was printed by them. They are a combination of companies, one of which was the Seattle Mail Handlers, and we are grateful for their support. Okay, and our next sponsor, Homestead level sponsor, can you all hear me? That's because Live Oak is here. Give them a round of applause. And then we have a sponsor without whom we could not operate day to day to day in our museum. Okay, how many of you own a computer? How many? I want to see all the hands. All right. There is nobody better to deal with your computer than Rob Shiras and his folks at IT headquarters. Please give them a round of applause. Table 9. At the preservation level, we have a sponsor who's been with us for a long, long time. They've been in West Seattle a long, long time. We pass by it all the time on the West Seattle Bridge, and we have Pat Jablonski from Nucor Steel. Pat, stand up. Okay, and then our next preservation level sponsor, table 20 in the back, representing her dad, her very busy dad, John Bennett, is Aurora Bennett from Luna Park Cafe. Then we have a number of supporters. We'll go through these quickly. There's DeVries Carney, PLLC. They're in that historic white building on California Avenue. We have Spud Fish and Chips. We have the Pacific Institute, without whom we could not put out our Footprints newsletter, could not have meetings. We've done so much over the years with the Pacific Institute, and we are so grateful to have the co-founder here, Diane Tice. Wave your hand, Diane. Right down here, table 7. And then you're taking a look at your unusual centerpieces today, and if you like the plaques on there, they were made by Red 27 Engraving. We also have a couple of framers who helped with our raffle and live auction items. We have Wallflower and Northwest Art and Frame. Both of them are in the Junction. And then over here at table 5, we have a representative of For Culture. For Culture is a phenomenal organization teaching heritage organizations how to do their jobs better and also to give them some financial help to do that. We have Flo Lentz. Flo, would you please stand and wave? Right over in the corner. And then many of you would not know about this event if not for our media sponsors. We have Tracy Record of the blog right up here in the front, and Patrick Robinson and his wife Kim of the Herald in the back. And this brings us to why we are here today. We have a mission. We have a mission to serve everybody on this peninsula. And if you look up at your screen, you will see that it's a very simple, easy mission. It's to promote heritage in the local community 3 ways: through education, preservation, and advocacy. And I'm going to take you through a quick review of this year. Hang on, it's going to be a fast ride, and so here we go. See if you can keep up with some of the things we've done this year. So, Art Wolf spoke to us last winter, and not only did we have a select group in the audience at the Coleman Estate to see that, but it's on videotape for everybody to see on our website. Next, we had the wonderful news of the Admiral Theater that they are expanding to 4 screens, and they're upgrading, and this theater would not be there without our work 26 years ago. That's going to be big news this next year. We launched, our next one is we launched the West Seattle Junction Historical Survey. How many of you love some of the buildings in the Junction? We're going to put out a report that talks about all of them and which ones should be saved, perhaps. Our next slide shows you that we graduated a museum manager to a full-time job in Oregon, and we hired, as I said before, Lissa Kramer. This is cause for celebration in itself. Please give Lissa another round of applause. And we just keep on doing things. Every day we have kids coming to our museum. She's working with the Lincoln Logs. We have school groups. This next slide, you'll see a tour group from the YMCA. And then we go out into the schools. One of the ways we did that this year was we were able to record the return of a special student at Alki Elementary School, Carol Ann Thornton. She and her family were the first African-American family to integrate the Alki neighborhood, and that experience with her and the kids is now recorded for posterity because of our help. Next, we had, you may remember our Lincoln Logs contest. Some of you may have entered. How many Lincoln Logs are in the jar? I said that about 1,000 times this summer at festivals. Also this summer, we had our picnic in the courtyard, a great tradition, good turnout. And then next, right on the heels of the picnic, we had the news once again that the Duwamish tribe had been turned down for recognition. And we are working on this constantly. This is an ongoing thing that we are right in line with their mission on that. We provide support to them. Out in the yard, we have our Native Plant Garden Committee working hard to spruce up the native plant garden that surrounds our museum. You're seeing progress on it day by day, and it will continue this coming year. And next, as we get into the good winter months, or good weather months, rather, how many of you in the room went to our home tour this year at the Daddy Stanley home, the founder of the Ye-O Curiosity Shop? I see hands over here and over here. I love that sign. Can you go back, please? Oh, where is the slide on the Daddy Stanley homes? Ooh. I missed. No, it's coming up. It's coming up. I skipped a slide. This one, our museum got spruced up with a coat of paint and a lot of other work that our facilities committee is doing. Now we get to Daddy Stanley. Look at the sign. This is the best part of this tour to me. Young Olivia Wallum, who lives in the home, she put up her own welcome sign in her upstairs window. Can you read it? Hello and welcome to Totem Place. If these walls could talk, home tour. I mentioned Elliot Cowden earlier. One of the things he got going with our board is to make the needs and interests of kids our highest priority. So you'll see kids being a theme throughout this. Next slide is our Riverside walking tour that we do every year. That's Frank Zuvella. He's ageless and his knowledge is infinite, and we're so grateful that he's around to do that. Then we go back into the museum. We got new shelving, thanks to gifts and volunteer help. That's our board member, Tasha Miller, putting up the shelving. And we also are working on processing thousands of photos and negatives from a local studio collection. And then, some of you may not realize, since it's become such a part of our routine, that we are now in the 3rd year of every month doing a local author at Words, Writers in West Seattle at Barnes & Noble. And then we get to the fall, where Duke's Chowder House sponsored, and many of us went on an Alaska totem cruise for 1 week. This was an amazing experience to go to the place where many of the totem poles here in Seattle came from. And so you see Dan Curley giving a presentation on the Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition. And then next slide, we have Duke and his crew giving a cooking demonstration. This is a select group of people who got to come to this. And then next you see all of us at the Saxman Village in Ketchikan. This was a tremendous trip. We will have a program about this in another month once we get over the gala. And then after that, we moved into White Center to do a tribute to poet Richard Hugo, Wayne Horvitz, jazz musician. How many of you were at that concert? That was a phenomenal concert, and not only if you were not there, you can go online and see the whole thing on videotape. Next, we had school days at the Kenny home. This was a great memory and display of items type of an event, and it's part of our ongoing relationship with the Kenny. We had driving tours with the Kenny. We we are just so proud to have that connection. And then we go back to the kids. Family Halloween on the Porch. This is just about a week ago, and we had the help of 4 students from the National Honor Society of West Seattle High School volunteer to help kids celebrate Halloween in the afternoon on the day of Halloween. And then, it's kind of a breathless thing. We've doing all this stuff, and we got recognized for it. Flip to the next slide, Jennifer, please. How many of you were at or remember the totem unveiling we had a year and a half ago? This was probably the core of our receiving 2 awards. The first award is from the Association of King County Historical Organizations. They gave us the Best Single Impact Event of the Year award. That's worth applauding right there. And then secondly, right in this very room, it was such a wonderful phone call to get the week before. We were awarded the Nonprofit of the Year in West Seattle by the West Seattle Chamber of Commerce. The banner's right up here. But the biggest news of all, you know what that is. Next slide. We got to announce as a whole team, the new owner, the former owner, Seattle City Council member Tom Rasmussen, the Chamber of Commerce, and our 3 heritage partners, the fact that the homestead has a new owner and is being restored. The new owner is Dennis Schilling. Here he is bringing the new logs in, the first shipment. And let's go to the next slide. Some of you were in this photo. This was 5 years ago. This was our This Place Matters rally in front of the homestead when we did not know what was going to happen to it. Fast forward 5 years later, Carrie Korsgaard, you're right in the center of this photo holding up the word still. This place still matters. And we had a rally in July. But not only that, we've been working with Dennis on a lot of fronts. We were able to recover one of the tarnished chandeliers, and we are saving it so that we can put it on display later to help tell the story of the homestead, including its fire. And then in August, we had David Rogers, the very man who almost 20 years ago was the one who restored our log house building. We had him come give a demonstration about how to do just that in the afternoon in our courtyard and in the evening at West 5. We also, through some For Culture support and also with volunteer help, we launched on our webpage the Virtual Chicken Dinner. How many of you have seen the Virtual Chicken Dinner on our webpage? This is where you, if you've ever been to the homestead, you can upload a story about going there for a special occasion, upload photos, share them with everybody. And then the pièce de résistance. Next slide. We had more than 1,000 students from Alki and Schmitz Park elementary schools come and give the homestead a group hug on June 5th of this year. And this is not just a one-time thing. Think of every kid in that photo. They are going to remember that for the rest of their lives. Every one of them will. And we know that because of our summer festivals. Because every time we went to a summer festival in the Junction, at Alki, at Delridge, we had these posters up, and look at these kids. They all come up and they look, and then they say, "That's me." And what they're really saying is, that's my community, and that's where I'm tied. This is us. So with all this to do about the homestead, I have a special presentation right now. And Dennis, would you please come up here? I have a gift for Dennis. Dennis always says, "I'll come to your events, but don't make me speak."
You'd want that too.
Now, I actually have 2 gifts. The first one, he has no idea of. This is an actual PBS documentary that is very pertinent here. This is called The Natural History of the Chicken. Dennis, we'd like you to have this to inspire you in your work ahead.
Subtle, but okay.
And then look on your tables. You all have a wonderful centerpiece. This is what we're calling a slice of the homestead, and you will have the chance to buy one of these just a little bit later. But we want to give the very first slice to Dennis with the plaque. Thank you very much, Dennis, for everything you've been doing.
Thanks,
Okay, we're not done yet. I just want to give you a little clue. We're not done yet. We've got 2016, and we've got a number of things we're doing. And some of these are in the hopper. Some of them are just, we don't know exactly how they're going to turn out, but they are coming up, definitely. We have new museum improvements coming. We have new exhibits coming, new outreach events. We have several new board members coming on 2016. That is, if we get a good turnout at our membership meeting a week from today at High Point Library so that we can vote them in. That's on November 14th. If you look on your slip on your table, each one of you has a membership form with those details on it. We'd love to see you there. The Admiral Theater being renovated is coming online, and none of the historic features are going to be altered, and so we're so thrilled about that. We have our home tour, which is going to be at the Kenny. The Kenny is a home too, and we will be able to learn a little bit more about that clock tower, not clock tower, bell tower that looks like Independence Hall. And of course, we'll have progress on the homestead. Here's a couple of glimpses of what's going on. We've already got a grant to fund a part of new lighting for the museum. We're going to look at some creative ways to get storage underneath our ADA ramp on the back. And then if you look at the bottom, next slide, we've got several things that we know are coming up. How many of you know who Ivar Haglund is? Who doesn't know who Ivar Haglund is? The Nordic Heritage Museum has had an exhibit on Ivar all this summer and fall. But could I have your attention, please? Ivar is coming to our museum later this fall. We're going to get pieces of that exhibit, and we are going to continue that exhibit called Keep Clam. Also, Camp Long is coming on its 75th anniversary. How many know where Camp Long is? Well, you are pretty special. Some people just drive by it. That's an amazing place. You'll learn more about it. And then look at the photo up at the top. That's our peninsula, and we are going to be coming back home in our home exhibit to follow up our work exhibit at the museum in early 2016. And this brings us back to why we are here today. This is our home. And really why we are here today is because of you.
But my goal right here, right now, is to raise $30 million. That is my goal. It's about $1 million per table, so talk amongst yourselves. Right on the edge of that table, you'll find your wands. You can divvy it up or just nominate one person. 300,000 into 400, 500, how about 600, 700, $1 million? Sold right here, $1 million to Executive Constantine. It's your money. Thank you. All right, that's how it's going to work. So now we're doing it for real. And we're going to start with this amazing painting over here. This is one-of-a-kind art. You can follow along in your program. One-of-a-kind art, The Stars Watch Over the Alki Homestead. Everybody remember the amazing neon sign of the Alki Homestead lighting up the night sky? Everyone remember that sign? Here it is, right here, captured beautifully. And soon, as you may have heard, we're going to get to experience that again. But in the meantime, West Seattle native Marilee Hagen. Can we give it up for Marilee? Former board president, instrumental in the acquisition of our birthplace of Seattle Log House Museum 20 years ago, painted this 11 by 14 inch, truly one of a kind. We want to thank Northwest Art and Frame, a West Seattle Junction institution for decades, owned by Dan Reiner, for putting this beautiful frame around it. And a special thanks, of course, to Marilee, who has created custom paintings for our events for years. She's a member of the Samish tribe, is a lifelong resident of West Seattle. So Marilee, can you stand up so we can give you an extra round of applause? She's hiding back there. There she is. Marilee doesn't know this. I had this appraised by Sotheby's earlier today. It's at $50,000. But for you in this room, because I know you love this organization, I want everyone to play along. I'll start it at $100 for you. So who'll start me off at $100 for this? $100 is bid right there, now $125. $125, now $125 is bid, now $150. $150 is bid that way, now $175. $175. Do you have $170? Now keep those wands down if you don't see anything. $175 now. I've got $150 bid. $175 up front. Now $200. It's your turn. $200 is bid. Now $225. $225 now. $200 is bid. Got to be $225. Your turn. What do you think? $225. Got it. Thank you. Now $250. $250. Got it. Now $275. Oh, it's going to only be in one home. What do you think? $275. $250 is bid. Got to be $270. You're in the lead. You don't have to outbid yourself. But how about that generosity? $275 is bid in the back corner. Now it's your turn at $300. $300 now. $300 is bid now. $325 back corner. It's your turn. $325. $325 is bid now. $350. $350. You're going to have to go to their house to see your art. $350 is bid. Now $375. $375. It's your turn back there. $375. $375 is bid. Now $400. $400. Remember, we're marching towards $50,000, the actual value. $400 now. What do you think? $400. Go big or go home. Here we go. She's reaching for the bid card. $400 is bid. Thank you. How about $450? Let's make some real money for this organization. Do you want to go $450? Go big or go home. That's what I say. $450. She's thinking it over. $450 is bid. Thank you. Now $500. $500. It's your turn again. $500. $500. It's beautiful. $500. Look at Vanna showing it to you. $500 going once. $500 is bid. Thank you. Now $550. $500 is bid. Got to be $550. I'm looking back there going once, going twice. Last chance at $550. Sold $500. You got it. What's your... I checked everyone's calendar. You're wide open April 30th, so don't worry about that. And then Crystal Dean, who is the Sorrento's overnight manager, is going to take you on that midnight tour, including the Haunted Room 408. Then you wake up, enjoy breakfast there to start your day. So thank you to the Hotel Sorrento, to Stellar Gala Committee volunteer Liz Day for donating the Kinky Boots tickets, and especially Crystal Dean, also on the Gala Committee, who is the night manager at this classic hotel and who knows all about the Sorrento. Very priceless item. Start me off, if you will, at $100 now. $100 bid, now $150. $150 up front, now $200. $200 in the middle, now $250 is bid, now $300 here, now $350. $400 now. $400, number 264 takes the lead. Now $450 bid at $120. You want to be $500 right in front? $500 is bid, now $550. $550 up front, now $600. $600 is bid, now $650. $600 is bid. Now $650. Number 135 takes the lead at $650. Now $700. $700 now. $650's bid. You can't get this behind the scenes tour of the Sorrento anywhere else. $700. $700. We got $650 bid. Remember, this includes breakfast the next morning. $700. $650's bid. Got to be $700. You're in the lead. Now $750. $750 now. Would you like to go to $750? We've got $700 right up front. Asking $750. $750, my friends. $750 going once. $750 is bid. Thank you. Number 120's back. Now $800. $800. What do you think? $800. $750's bid. Got to be $800. $750's bid in the back corner. Got to be $800. $800 going once. $800 going twice. Last chance to bid. $800. Sold. $750. You got it back there. You got wines from 12 local wineries, so you're going to get to know the amazing local Washington wines. Tasting, voting, a panel of wine experts. You get to taste and vote and everything else. Plus, we're going to give you 2 rare bottles of Totem Red, the custom wine made just for the Southwest Seattle Historical Society. And this just in, you're going to get 2 Belle Divine indoor-outdoor wine glass holders, 4 heavy maroon Northwest Wine Night coasters made by Infinite Bee. So thank you to the Northwest Wine Night, thank you to Southwest Seattle Historical Society, and a special thanks to Jennifer and Dave O'Neill of Live Oak Audiovisual. They're making sure that you can hear me, and they taped this show, and so they made it possible for this item. So the last session of tapings was just a week ago. Terry Mann and Glenn Poor were there. How was it? Fantastic. You're getting the thumbs up review right there. All right. Who wants to go be a celebrity and get to know some of those 12 local wineries? Starting off at $100 again. 100 is bid now, 150. 150 bid in the back now, 2. 200 is bid now, 250. 250 now. 200 is bid. Got to be $250. 250 is bid. Thank you now. 300. 300. 300 right here now. 350. 350. 300 is bid. Got to be $350. 12 wineries. 350 is bid now. 400. 400 is bid. Thank you now. 450. Just remember, after you drink from 12 wineries, you won't remember what you spent. 400 is bid here, got to be 450. 450, and you're supporting the Southwest Seattle Historical Society by drinking wine. She's thinking it over. 450. 450 is bid. Now 500. $500, thank you. $500. Anybody else here want to advance to 500? We've got $450 bid. Anyone else want to be in this elite? $500. He's back. Now 550. 550 now. Now, you're saying no, but he said no, and then he bid again. So that's the pattern. You have to say no, look like you're out, and then jump back in. All right. Thank you for bidding. Anybody else here? $550 going once. 550 going twice. Last chance to bid 550. And thank you again. Thank you. Now, check out this next, the Dizzy Dance of Luna Park. This is amazing. This is your opportunity to bring the hip, historic feeling of West Seattle's Luna Park neighborhood into your home with this wall-sized 40 by 44-inch print by award-winning, very famous national artist Michael B. Rauer. His famous signature is these jaunty buildings. You get to unwrap this at your home once it's out of the rain. But you can see how beautiful this is, and look at your screens. Look at how big this is. This is a G-clay print, which means it's actually printed on canvas, hand-stretched canvas right there. So beautiful, ready-to-hang G-clay print right there depicts the iconic Luna Park Cafe below the historic Boyson Apartments next to Java Bean, topped by the Shack, of course. And on the back, and this is really cool, on the back, the artist himself, Michael B. Rauer, signed. He wrote, "West Seattle is where it all began for the city and for me." So big thanks to Michael B. Rauer for this. And special thank you to Alki Arts, 1 block south of the Seattle Art Museum, operated by the incomparable Diane Venti, longtime gala supporter. Diane, stand up so we can say thank you. Just stand up. Come on, Diane. There she is, Diane Venti. All right. This is awesome. So here it is, ready to hang, the G-clay print right there in your home, autographed by the artist himself in the back. Start me off, if you will, at $300 now. 300 is bid, now 400. $400 now, 3 is bid, got to be 4. 400 is bid there, now 500. 500 now, 500, 4 is bid, now 5. 500 is bid, got to be 6. 600, will you go 6? 600 is bid, thank you, now 700. 700 all the way in the back, thank you, spotters. 700's bid, now 8. $800 now, 7's bid, got to be $800. 8 is bid, thank you, now 9. $900. Uh-oh, your wall just got lonely. 800 is bid, got to be 900. 900, or buy this for your office, and now it's all of a sudden a business expense. 800 is bid, asking $900. What do you think? 900, 8 is bid, got to be 9. $900. 900. You can see that the value is $1,000, and that doesn't include the autograph on the back. So $800 is bid, asking $900. What do you think? $900. 900. Here it is. You can picture it hovering in your home or office. 800 is bid. Now $900. Everyone will ask you where you got it. $900 is bid. Thank you. Now $1,000. $1,000. 900 is bid. Now $1,000. $1,000 is bid. Thank you. Now $1,100. $1,100. $1,100. Oh, so close. She held the card. That was teasing. That was teasing. $1,000 is bid. Got to be 11. $1,100, my friends. Autographed by the artist himself. World famous artist autographed this for you. $1,000 is bid, got to be 11. What do you think, guys? $1,100. They're thinking it over. This is going to go away, and you're going to kick yourself. 1,000 is bid over there, got to be $1,100. $1,100 going once. $1,000. You're in the lead. Got to be 11. $1,100 going twice. Or you can buy this and give it to Clay. He'll find a home for it. Last chance to bid $1,100. Anybody else want to advance to $1,100? Sold $1,000. Congratulations. Well, don't you need this piece of history? As you know, fire damaged the building in 2009. It sat closed for 6 years. Our good friend Dennis, who's here with us, is now beginning the restoration. This wonderful turn of events, which of course involved a lot of behind-the-scenes work by the Southwest Seattle Historical Society, allows you right now to take home a piece of the homestead. There are two ways. We're going to start with these on your table. Handsome slice of an actual discarded log from the homestead, taken out as they're renovating it. This is an actual log from the homestead. We're selling them for only $100 each. We only have 40, and then they're gone forever. So if you want to take this home, to your office, think of what a conversation piece this is. And again, they're only $100 each. Raise your card if you would like to buy one, and we're going to write down every single person who wants to buy one. And if you want to buy two, you can hold up your bid card, and with your other hand you can say, hey, Fred, I want to buy two. So here we are. These are the centerpiece logs with the plaque, number 232. Thank you. Number 149. Thank you. Number 150. Thank you. Number 127 takes one of the centerpieces. Thank you. Number 286. Number 250. And number 185, all take home one of these centerpieces. Number 131, thank you. Number 333, number 257, number 107, thank you, and number 115. Who else wants one of these amazing centerpieces? Number 251, number 155, number 240, we'll put you down. Who else wants one of these? Number 140. And remember, these are only $100 each for a piece of the actual homestead. You can even see at the bottom where it was cut so that they would fit together. Anybody else want, for only $100, one of these beautiful centerpieces? All right, how about a big round of applause for everyone who just bought a piece of history? Look at this. This is a 3-foot-tall log segment. You can see it's notched where it connected with another log. All of these will obviously be slightly different, but they're all notched. They all come with a personalized plate where we're going to actually put your name on the plate. So here's what it says. It says, original log section from Fir Lodge, Alki Homestead, constructed in 1904 and under restoration in 2015. Your name, in support of Southwest Seattle Historical Society. So how cool is this for your home, for your lawn? This is amazing. Clay is getting a workout right now as he hauls that around. So we only have 20 of these. Each one different from the next, but each one with a notch to show it has been connected to another log in the Alki Homestead building. These are $150 each, because we're going to personalize them with your name on that plaque. And again, you can put that in your living room, put it next to your fireplace, put it outside. Obviously, it can survive just fine outside. And we want to thank Red 27 Engraving, by the way, owned by Dana Perot, who made the plaques, and Alki Homestead owner Dennis Schilling and his wife Sandra. Dennis, without you, we couldn't do any of this, so thank you. All right, I want to buy one. My bid number is 334, so I'll buy the first one. Who would like to buy another one of these? They're $150 each. Remember, we're going to put your name on it. Number 286 takes the next one. Number 236 takes the third one. Number 232. Number 296, number 190, number 191, number 119, number 112, number 123, number 108. We only have 9 left. Number 173 takes one. Anybody else want one? We have only 8 left. These are actual notched logs. Number 149. Thank you. Anybody else want one of these logs that Clay is carrying around? You can see that we've sanded them down to make them safe. Put the plaque right there on them. All right. Thank you again. And another round of applause.
And now, as Fred said, we are going to continue the most important part of the day, and I need it to be pin drop silence. And I'm not going to introduce them, they're going to introduce themselves. So I want to call up to the stage Catherine Gruey Alexander and Rob Gruey, sister and brother. This is the most special part of the day. Please give them your undivided attention.
Hey. Okay.
All right.
The right spot, Rob?
It's good.
How are we doing? Can everybody hear us? Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out today to this lovely setting, to this for this grand occasion. As Clay said, where did you go, Clay? I'm Catherine Gruyer Alexander.
And I'm Rob Gruyer.
For a few minutes, we want to share a bit of our West Seattle story with you. We trust that you will find some of your own story in ours, because we are all here today for the same purpose, to show our appreciation and to share and celebrate and support the heritage of this beautiful peninsula that we call home.
Of course, the core of our story today is our family and the Alki Homestead.
It is a legacy, and it is nestled in all of our hearts, whether, like me, who stayed in West Seattle almost all of my life,
Or like me, moved away, in my case, to Port Townsend, but I keep coming back home to the homestead. Many of you know that our dad, Bob Gruey, or Gruyer as we say, was the first long-term chef of the homestead. The building operated as Fur Lodge until 1950, when Sven and Babe Nielsen converted it to a restaurant, gave it a classic name, and put the iconic Alki Homestead neon sign on top. My dad, man, what a rascally guy. He was handsome, outgoing, gregarious, an inventor, an endearing person, at the same time a practical joker with a little smirk.
Go ahead, Rob.
He had learned to cook during World War II when he worked for the Navy on a landing craft in the South Pacific. He was also an entrepreneur, always cagey and looking for fun and interesting things to do.
He met our mother, Lucille, in 1948. She was a beautiful widow with an adorable 5-year-old son named Joey. Many of you might remember him as an adult. Our brother, the late J.B. Webster, who was so active in this community, and he even served on this organization's board. Our mom lived on Alki, doors from the now Log Museum, and one day a new neighbor, our dad, a Fuller brush man, knocked on the door. I'd like to make a proposal. Eventually, it became a marriage proposal, and a year later, Rob was born. 2 years later, I came along.
Our dad wore many hats. He sold ice cream from a little three-wheeled vehicle for a business he called Jingle Bob's. He was a zealot and organizer for the annual Alki Kids Fishing Derby. Yeah. He sold real estate here in the community. But the biggest and best thing he ever did was to run the Alki Homestead. It was close to home. He could walk to work. He loved being the boss. He was in his element.
Our mom worked there too as a salad girl. And in the 1950s, we kids literally grew up there. We even lived upstairs for a while. Rob and I both remember climbing the tall back stairway by walking on the outside of the metal railing, which was really dangerous. But we never told our parents, did we, Robbie?
No, we didn't. No, in fact, one time back in the homestead kitchen, for a joke, my dad hung me upside down in a laundry bag.
You probably deserved it.
Oh.
I confess I was a little red-haired terror. Stop.
Yeah.
I was not a sit quietly and color kind of kid. I was always running through the kitchen and slow down, Kathy, and being placated with Shirley Temples so I wouldn't be underfoot.
Of course, the homestead was known for its family-style fried chicken, and Dad put that on the map.
Wait a minute. Do you guys have the recipe for that fried chicken?
Do we?
I'll never tell.
Anyway, as a kid, I rode in the front seat with Dad when he drove to Poultry Products down on Airport Way to get the chickens. What a scene. It was basically a slaughterhouse with a giant conveyor belt and a big pressure tank and, it's probably best not to talk about it any further during a brunch. Let's just say that as kids we knew that fried chicken was the thing at the homestead, but it wasn't the only thing. You were offered an appetizer before dinner, fruit salad from a can with a maraschino cherry and a shrimp cocktail. Dad also served prime rib, crab louis, and steak. Mid-century cuisine, for sure.
For sure.
And then there were the desserts, ice cream with cinnamon applesauce. But the best dessert was called sticky pudding. It was Eagle brand canned milk, boiled for 4 hours with a lid on it. Then it was pushed out of the can, sliced. It was so sugar sweet. It tasted like caramel. It was so good. And it was so bad for you.
Dad took me on errands too. He'd get things for the restaurant. We would go to Blake's Bakery in the Junction to get dinner rolls, and Mr. Blake always had a maple bar for me.
As we got older, Dad moved on, and Doris Nelson took over the homestead. For more than 40 years, she was the face of the place. Remember Doris? She had those huge glasses, right? And she had this low voice right in your face, and she'd say, "Hi, honey."
Well, Dory certainly had a lot of flair. She added beautiful antiques to the dining room and the newly enclosed porch. She also drove a pink Mercedes. Remember the license plate? Hoop-dee-doo!
When we got old enough to get jobs, guess what kind of work we landed? I worked at Hal's Diner on Alki, where Phoenicia is now, and also at Quinnell's Charcoal Broiler on Beach Drive, where I was the assistant to the boy.
Very nice, Rob. Restauranting does get into your blood. My first real job was just up the road from here at the Shack Drive-In. Right down there. During high school, I worked at Spud Fish and Chips, and in the 1980s and 90s, I was co-owner of Webster's Restaurants.
I kept telling myself that I would never own a restaurant. It's a lot of work. The hours are terrible. It's hard on your body. You have no friends. You're never outside. You get burns, you get knife cuts all the time. Today I run a business restoring Morris Minor cars. But also, you guessed it, I'm ensnared in another restaurant called Hanazono Asian Noodle next to the Rose Theater in Port Townsend.
When you grow up in a restaurant, you end up in sales with a strong personality, fearless. And for us, it all comes back to the homestead.
When I was a little boy, the homestead was like a monolith. You could soak in it. It was almost daunting. It was like a cartoon character where you could go to eat and eat what you want. And it just looked like one big mouth to me with a big hat on it and eyes. It was big and happy.
Well, it was happy, Rob, and it was always a place for our whole family to go for important occasions. When our dad passed away 23 years ago, it was almost midnight. The next morning, I called Dory and asked if she could accommodate you, me, and JB for dinner that evening, and she did. It was a time for us to heal and reminisce. It was absolutely the right place to go. On my 50th birthday, very recently, my husband, Jim Alexander, told me he was taking me out for dinner. He drove me down the hill via Fairmont Gulch. He pulled right here into Salty's for a moment. Then he pulled out and drove us to where my brothers and kids waited to surprise me at the homestead.
You know, when I think of the homestead, I think of lights. There used to be this little homestead billboard toward the beach next to Triggs Grocery with lights on it. And every night my dad would turn those on. And in my mind, all the way back to being a child, that neon sign on top of the homestead was always on, always.
We are so happy that the Southwest Seattle Historical Society got the homestead its landmark status 20 years ago and has been working so closely with the new owner for it to be restored. By the way, Dennis, I want to come work for you. The homestead is truly one of a kind. It's where people gather to break bread and chicken legs. They take time to feel the ambiance. They sit down and share family-style food, along with family-style memories and dreams. But it's not just about people our age. It's all the next generations. I'm predicting that today's West Seattle kids will be taking their own kids there 20 years from now. All of this comes down to one word: gratitude. We are so grateful for the Southwest Seattle Historical Society, the work that everyone in this organization does to preserve the photos and stories, the historic buildings, and yes, the family legacies. It's so important.
It's all about bringing people together for a common purpose. What we are doing today, right now, in this room, is fundamental to our happiness, to our satisfaction with life, and our sense of well-being. We know that the heritage that we share, that we celebrate, that we support, has value to all of us and will one day have deep value to young people who may not yet realize it. Young people like we all were.
We ask you to think back to when you were a child and the influence of your own family and upbringing. We all have common threads of gratitude. Those threads have become the ties that bind, that have connected us all to West Seattle. We hope that you have seen some of yourselves in our story, and we trust that you will give the Southwest Seattle Historical Society your full support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are people in this room and a few people who are not able to be here today who believed so much in our mission that they became members of the Challenge Fund. The Challenge Fund is those who give $1,000 or more triggered by this occasion, and doing so in advance to inspire you all to give the same. This year's Challenge Fund is $11,500. And you can see the names up there. I'm going to read them besides my wife and I. There's Dave Roccavina, Marcy Johnson and Joey Richardson, Judy Piggott, Catherine and Michael Purdy, Sandra and Dennis Schilling, Gail Seil and Sherry Briggs. They are the daughters of Clarinell Casey Young, who died earlier this year and are challenge funders in their mom's honor. Joanne Stover, and Whitney and Ron Tierenson. And this is the time when we enter what we call our Fund a Dream Challenge. Fred?
We're going to start at $5,000. We're going to work our way down. We're confident that there is a level for everybody in this room. But we ask that you think about how important this work is and maybe give a little bit sooner than you thought you might. And before we start at $5,000, if there's anybody who is feeling crazy and wants to start higher, I'm not going to stop you. So if somebody says, I want to start at $10,000, or someone wants to match the challenge fund of $11,500, raise your card. You can name your own level before we start. All right, just wanted to give you the chance. All right, so our first level is $5,000. And so we're wondering if there's anybody here who believes so much in what we're doing and has the capacity to give big, wants to start us off with a bold gift of $5,000. And if so, raise your card up high, and you'll be our lead donor here at $5,000. And there, people are hustling, looking for cards. Anybody here want to start us off at $5,000? Right there. Number 247 starts us off at $5,000, ladies and gentlemen.
Fred, that's Diane Tice, co-founder of the Pacific Institute.
Well, this, my twin sister, Joanne Mraz, and myself grew up in West Seattle. In fact, we used to pick hazelnuts down at the Kinney home. And she was a pioneer in actually bringing the Historical Society into being and where it is now. So my late husband and I had created a Tice Education Foundation. So I'd like to donate the $5,000 from our education foundation in memory of Joanne.
That's so sweet. Thank you. Anybody else here at $5,000? How about a big round of applause again for Diane Tice? Thank you so much, Diane. Our next level, we're going to cut it in half, is $2,500. Anybody here want to raise your bid card at $2,500? If so, hold your card up high. You'll get your own personal round of applause. And look at that. Number 319 joins us at $2,500.
Fred, that's Marianne Tagney and David Jones.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, David. Anybody else want to join us at $2,500? I saw some of you last night. As I like to point out, $2,500 is only $1 a day for the next 2,500 days. So if that helps. Anyone? How about a round of applause for our two lead families here? And Clay, do you want to come on up and thank people at our next level? Our next level is $1,000. And raise your bid card if you'd like to join us at the $1,000 level. Is there anybody here who'd like to start us off at $1,000? Bidder number 135, Clay. I knew she was going to start us off. We heard from Elaine earlier.
This is Lane Townsend of the Townsend and Wise family of West Seattle. Thank you so much, Lane.
Thank you, Elaine, for starting us off. Stay right up here, Clay. Who else here at $1,000? Number 117 joins us at $1,000.
Irma Cowden, wife of our founder, Elliot Cowden.
And right next door, number 116 joins us at $1,000.
Jenny Stimpson, the daughter of Elliot and Irma.
Thank you so much. Who else at $1,000? Number 213 joins us at $1,000.
That's Ron Tierenson. And Whitney Kieranson.
And number 224 joins us at $1,000. Thank you so much.
That's Susan Silver over at table number 1. Susan Silver.
How about that? Anybody else here want to join us at $1,000? If so, raise those cards up high. How about a big round of applause for all those $1,000 families? Clay, you can take a seat. Thank you. Our next level is $500. We're going to keep cutting it in half. This is just over $1 a day for a year. Who here can support this amazing work? Maybe it's a way of just saying thank you for saving the Admiral Theater. Thank you for all that you do to preserve the landmarks in our community. Raise $500 if you'd like to say thank you and invest here in the history of West Seattle. And we'll start in the corner. Number 170 at $500. Thank you. Number 197, thank you so much. Who else wants to say thank you to this Southwest Seattle Historical Society and invest in our community at $500? Number 251, thank you. Number 252, thank you. Number 169, thank you so much. Number 236, thank you. All of these gifts at $500. Number 115, thank you very much. Anybody else? Yes. Number 150 joins us at $500. Thank you so much. Anybody else here want to join us at $500? If you're hiding behind a pillar, just do a stage dive across the table or something. All right, big round of applause for our $500 families. All of these levels are important. Our next level is $250. How many cards can we get up at $250? And look at all the cards coming up. Here we go. I'll read these off. Here we go. Number 106. Thank you. These are all at $250. Number 144. Number 167. Number 173. And what's that back there? Can you hold that flat? Thank you. Number 331. Thank you very much. All of these at $250. Who else? Number 294. Thank you. Who else here wants to join us at $250? We would love to get you. Anybody else here at $250? I'm working my way around the pillars. I'm hiding from the camera, making the video camera work hard. Anybody else? How about a round of applause for our $250 families? Our next level, yeah, I've got those right back there. Our next level, our final level of Fund a Dream is $100. If you haven't joined in yet, or if you'd like to give twice, if you've always wanted to be one of those high rollers that gives twice, here's your last chance to give today. This is your last chance before we get to the exciting program. So $100. How many cards can we get up at $100? And here we go. Number 275. Thank you. Number 287. Number 303. Thank you. Number 122. Number 269. Number 278. Thank you. All of these gifts at $100. Who else? Number 130. Thank you. Number 153. Thank you. Clay, do you mind grabbing those for me and being our supermodel? Number 248. Thank you. Who else here at $100? We're going to do a little game here. Keep your card up. Here, we're going to do a little game, Tom. Here, look at this. These are the 2014 Champagne Gala Brunch Totem Red, which you can't buy anywhere. These are sold out. They were created only for us, and we have 2 bottles. I'm going to give both bottles to the last person to give another $100. All right, so you have your card up, number 189. Right now, we're going to bring you these 2 bottles of Totem Red, unless someone else raises their card and gives another $100. Would anyone? Oh, number 188. Now we're going to bring you these 2 bottles of red because you gave another $100. Would anyone else like to give another $100? And number 166. Now we're going to bring these to you. Oh, sorry, number 321. Now we're going to bring you these 2 exclusive bottles of Totem Red. Anybody else here want to be the last? Oh, number 215. Now we're bringing this to you because you gave another $100. Now remember, you can give more than once. You could jump back in. Who wants these 2 bottles of Totem Red? Last bid card up gets them. Sold right over there. You got them. Congratulations. No, too late. Too late. We got it. Well, otherwise we'll be here until midnight.
Now we have, wait. How many of you have heard Wait on NPR? This is Wait, West Seattle Don't Tell Me, and please give a big round of applause of welcome to Marty Reamer.
Thank you very much. This is not Wait, Don't Tell Me, so for those of you who think this is an actual NPR program, this is just a rip-off of that. Sorry to begin right away with the disappointment. It is a very, we are recording this, and it will be posted online as a Marty Reamer Show podcast. So if we could begin by getting our contestants up here, Jack and Josh and Michael and Sean and Connie. And I think, just so I don't get confused, Jack will sit here, Josh will sit right here. The show hasn't started yet, people, because otherwise this would be really dull. Connie is in the 3rd seat. And Sean is in seat number 4, and Michael sits way at the end. The chances of him falling off the pier are better that way. All right, your job as an audience is to pay attention if you choose, but to cheer wildly after the introduction when you hear my name. That's really your only job, then you can head home, okay? Just cheer wildly, and then I'll explain the whole contest and allow them to introduce themselves once we get started here. Okay.
Hello?
Hello, Seattle.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Wholly independent and completely untethered since 2009, this is the Marty Reamer Show podcast.
Reamer.
From Salty's in West Seattle. Wedged between the bay and a bucket of shrimp cocktails.
Here are your hosts, Marty Reamer and somebody else.
That was excellent. Excellent. We are live here from the Southwest Seattle Historical Society Champagne Gala Brunch at Salty's on Alki. There are roughly, I'm bad at estimating crowds, there are roughly 45,000 people here right now. 45,000 people here. And they are all here for the inaugural edition of Wait, West Seattle Don't Tell Me. It's a game show with an unwieldy name, an awkward, unwieldy name, similar to its host. We have 5 West Seattle luminaries joining us here. We are going to test them on how well they know the town that they call home over here in West Seattle. I'm going to introduce them all by name and then give them a chance to tell you a little bit about themselves. Please hold your applause till the very end, because if you don't, you'll make the rest of our contestants feel bad that Jack Miller is clearly the most popular. Okay? Contestant number 1 from the Husky Deli, Jack Miller. See, I tell you to hold your applause, but you can't. It's Jack Miller. You're like, I've got to applaud Jack Miller. From the West Seattle YMCA, we've got Josh Sutton right over here. Josh Sutton. That was more applause than you, Jack. Maybe you're losing it. Contestant number 3, you all know her from Como TV, Connie Thompson. Contestant number 4, my former co-worker / boss and now a Microsoft executive, Sean Stewart. And a West Seattle writer and notorious pot smoker, Michael Stusser. It's now legal, so it's fine. It's totally fine. I believe I was directed not to mention that in introducing Mike, so we will edit that out of the on-air version. We have a game that consists of 4 rounds. Each round has a different set of point values. The total number of points available to our contestants is 75. We have our scorekeeper down here. There she is right there. The funny thing is she has no idea what the points are and how they get assigned, so just do it somewhat randomly. I will explain as we go. Game number 1, individual questions for each of our contestants. I will stop and ask each one of you. This is not a timed round, but don't take too much time, Jack, okay? Pretend it's a sandwich. I've ordered a sandwich. I want my damn sandwich. We'll go twice through our group of contestants here. Are you guys already messing up over there and scribbling notes to each other?
Decorating our podiums.
All right. In the first round here, each correct answer is worth 5 points, so they have a chance, 10 points total. We'll start with you, Jack. Jack, your first question. And feel free to give us your thought process. This West Seattle business is Seattle City Light's biggest user of power. Jack, do not help Jack, anyone, especially the guy from Nucor Steel back there.
I was going to say, it's...
Uh-oh, is his mic not working? Do we have the...
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Nucor, of course.
Nucor Steel! Holy cow, where did he pull that one up? Hold on, I've got all the sounds here. There we go, that's it. All right, Jack, well done. Josh, you're not going to be so lucky. I'm not going to be so sloppy with giving away answers. Josh, your question. What was the name of the waterfront amusement park that operated on the West Seattle waterfront from 1907 to 1913?
My mic, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Luna Park.
Luna Park! Very well done. Now to Connie Thompson. It's 5-5. Let's see. Hi, Connie.
I'm going to be the Paula Poundstone of this thing.
Okay, very good.
Oh, I stand by Paula.
Here we go, Connie. I think
you're going to get a tricked question and I'm going to miss it.
You're going to be fine.
Okay.
Listen to this one, Connie. How did the junction get its name?
Because that is where the trolleys...
Good enough. She got it. She got it. I wanted to cut you off because I didn't want you to go wrong. That is where the trolleys fell off the cliff. No. Go ahead. You continue with your answer.
Met,
yes. All right. Our fourth contestant, Sean Stewart. Here we go, Sean. This one is really not a West Seattle question. It begins West Seattle and then takes us elsewhere, all right?
I'm scared already.
The city of Seattle has only 2 walk-all-ways intersections. One of them we know is in the Junction, and the other one is...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, audience. The other one is? A little louder? Well,
you people...
Oh, I know where it is. I know exactly where it is.
Okay, where is it?
At Pike Place Market.
Oh, look at that.
Very good. Yep, First and Pike.
Thank you very much. I'm the Tom Bodette of the panel, FYI. I'm going to be real folksy.
And now, the last question for the first round goes to Michael Stusser. What numbered street is the Alki homestead on? What numbered street?
A map. Marty, it's on...
I don't know if you guys are giving clues or if you're just hissing like snakes, because it sounds like... to us up here, it sounds... So obviously there's a sound in it.
61st, Marty. It's on 61st.
61st! I'm being very lenient with an audience that is helping our contestants cheat, but only because it's the warm-up round.
Yeah.
That was our first list. Let's check with our scorekeeper. How many points do each of our contestants have?
It's hard for me to total them up, but I think 5.
5 each. Woo! 5 each. It also gets harder for you, our scorekeeper. All right, second round. Back to you, Jack. This restaurateur and former Alki resident purchased the Smith Tower in 1976. This restaurateur and...
Ivor Hagelin.
Ivor Hagelin!
Nice
for 5 points.
I remember that one.
Well done, Jack. To you, Josh. What is the largest man-made island in the United States? Josh.
Harbor Island?
Harbor Island, exactly. A media question for Connie. What radio station once had its studios and tower located in West Seattle?
K.
Good enough.
Give it to her.
How about KJR?
KJR, yeah. Well done. Sean, this U.S. president ordered recognition of the Duwamish tribe.
Oh, that's really hard.
That one's kind of hard, isn't it?
Was it a long time ago, Marty, or was it recently?
It was. He might not have been wearing pants when he recognized the Duwamish tribe.
Was he wearing knickers? Could it have
No,
been?
no, it wasn't that long ago.
Wait, he wasn't wearing pants. Was he a woman? Wait,
No, it was
I'm confused.
Well, I'm not going to give you...
He wasn't wearing pants.
That's a clue. I shouldn't be giving clues.
Was he wearing a kilt?
Especially
wearing-
politically motivated clues.
Was he wearing a kilt?
Nope.
No, no kilt.
Which president was wearing a kilt?
None. None were women
That
either.
It's half. Don't go that far back. It's a modern era.
Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford. No, it was Bill Clinton. Oh, Sean Stewart is
not
the
wearing
first.
pants. Now I get it.
Yes.
All coming back to whiskey. I think so too.
What?
What's happening now?
Well, I don't know who's getting booed. Sean for getting the answer wrong? Yes. Boo! That's awful. Do better, Sean. Obviously, the crowd is very angry with you. Number 5 for you,
Pass.
For 5 points, Michael. In the movie Sleepless in Seattle, which you saw 185 times, I believe, how did Tom Hanks' character get to Alki Beach? Oh, look, Sean now. Sean's going, oh, that one I know.
Paddleboard. He paddleboarded.
Paddleboard was a little bit before the time. He got by motorboat. He went from Lake Union to Alki, and he didn't have to transit the Ballard Locks. All right. What's our score? It's 10-10, 10-5-5, right? Oh, jeez. All of a sudden I started everything up here.
That's the close.
Round 2 of our game. It's called Closest to the Pin Wins. This is 10 points for each correct answer. Now you're competing against one another. I will ask one numbered question. You will write the answer as you think it is on the cards in front of you. We have boxes provided so that Connie doesn't cheat off Josh's card.
I can see into Connie's box.
Help. The closest to the correct answer will win. And if there are two parties who are the same distance away, we'll give you each points. All right, the first question. Get ready to write your answer here. The Denny party arrived on Alki in what year? The Denny party arrived on Alki in what year? Again, it's just a good guess. And they weren't wearing pants, Sean.
Were they wearing kilts?
All right, are you ready, Jack? Flip up your answer. The Denny party arrived on Alki in 1850. That is a good guess. The answer is actually 1851. 1851, 1852, 1847. 10 points for Josh and 10 points for Connie. Well done.
Nicely done. I'm not doing it. It's not pretty.
I knew it would be.
I like that, Connie, you are planning on reusing your card as you just wrote in the little corner there. We have a card for every answer.
It's conservation.
Yes, wonderful. Nice to have you over here on the west side with that attitude. Okay. Here's a tougher one. Are you ready? What is the building height limit in feet in the junction? Look at Jack right away. Oh, I know this.
Is this where I give you the Charlie Chong answer?
Yes. Yeah, just give me.
Do you want which part of the junction?
The junction.
So do you mean right at the corner of California and Alaska? There are multiple heights.
The two-block core. The two-block core of the junction. All right. Jack apparently has the answer. Go ahead, raise it up. What is it? It's 85 feet. That is correct. And what do you got there? 85 feet, Connie? Too high. That's also correct.
Nice answer.
Sean says 60 feet, and Michael also is too high. That is a stupid question. I see. Jack and Josh each get 10. Connie gets 20 points.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Game number 3, we need a random person from the audience to participate. How about you, Greg? Okay, here's Greg. Greg Butcher right over here, who's married to the lovely Susan Silver. All right, here's the point. I'm going to ask a question, you panelists have to answer the question the way Greg, long-haired, hippie, bearded gentleman, peacenik, how you think he would answer the question. All right? So you're going to have to kind of stereotype him. How will Greg answer this question? Where's the best place to go for dessert in West Seattle? What answer will Greg give? Where's the best place to go for dessert in West Seattle?
Greg, can you stand up, please? Can you turn around?
Obviously, Greg has not eaten much dessert.
Are those loose-feeding jeans or are those tight jeans? Let's see here. Okay, all right, just a bit.
All right, and once you guys are all done, best place to eat dessert in West Seattle, according to Greg Butcher over there.
You can really disappoint one of the panel members here, just so you know.
All right. That's true. I know. It is true. Greg, what would be your answer? Best place to eat dessert?
Depends on how much I've had to drink at Maharaja.
Okay, so that's not your answer, is it? Maharaja is not your answer. Okay, you're drinking at Maharaja, and then afterwards you go... Husky Deli! Husky Deli!
Hold up your sign.
Let's see. Husky Deli, Husky Deli, Husky Deli. I can't see yours, Michael. Top Pot. Oh.
Well, so it's a recurring pot theme over there on the end, isn't it?
You started it with a high.
I haven't used the sound effects slot. I'd like to use this one on Michael. There we go.
Do you have the fart on there, Marty?
That's 10 points for each, except for Michael. Let's see here. How about you, ma'am, here in the front row? You were very generous. I'm going to ask you another question. And the job is for you to match. What was your name again? Diane. Diane. All right. Your job, contestants, are to match Diane's answer to this question. What is the best park in West Seattle? The best park in West Seattle. I'll give you a few moments to jot down. Apparently you don't want Diane to stand up and turn around. I thought that was something we were asking of all the contestants, but the best park in West Seattle? Is everyone ready? All right, Diane, what would you say the best park in West Seattle is?
I grew up in Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park! Lincoln Park, Lincoln Park, Camp Long, Alki, and Seacrest. Jack, what happened to you?
I live next to Lincoln. I should have.
Did you get correct scores from everyone? It really was kind of going to be between Alki. Yeah, who said Lincoln Park? Raise up if you said. Did you say Lincoln Park, Michael? Okay, good. I'm so surprised that you got a correct answer. All right, here's our final round of the first ever edition of Wait, Wait, West Seattle, Don't Tell Me. Each contestant, it'll be a speed round, so get your 30-second, you'll have 30 seconds in which to answer 5 true or false questions. We'll start, since we started with Jack on the first round, we'll start with Michael this time. Michael has how many points? 50 points?
15.
That's sweet.
50 points. That's way more than anyone expected.
Yep.
Are you sure you're tallying correctly? Or did he slip you some of his stash? Because. All right. We will ask 5 questions. Each correct answer is worth 5 points. So this is a chance to get 25 points total. All right. Are you ready? We'll start the clock after I read the first question. Mm-hmm. It's timed, so you got to be fast. It's a lightning round.
You got to be fast.
No, I can be sluggish. West Seattle High School's mascot is the Lumbermen.
False.
Yes, it's the Wildcats. The first non-native visitor to Puget Sound was Captain George Vancouver.
That is false.
Nope, that's true.
Oh, come on.
The oldest retirement home in West Seattle is the Kenny.
True.
True, that is true. West Seattle was once a city of its own.
True, because everybody gave
said true, yes. And the 1851 party that settled Alki Beach originally called it New York.
That is true. By and by, Marty. By and by.
Yes.
Alki by
Very
and by.
well done.
Very nice.
4 out of 5. Well done, Michael.
I'm going for 5 out of 5.
All right, contestant number 2, that's you, Sean Stewart.
Ready.
Same thing. Clock starts after I read the first question. And the first question, be quiet, Jack, because you might know this one. Husky Deli was originally named Jack's Shack.
False.
False is correct. It was called Edgewood Farms. That's good. The last streetcar line to operate in West Seattle closed down in 1968.
True.
That is false.
No!
1940. The Alki Lighthouse is the oldest lighthouse in the U.S. Oh, people.
False.
False.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is false. Schmitz Park
Schmitz Park.
Time.
What?
Oh, that's rough.
I think I need a little extra
All
time.
right, we'll
Those
give her a little
questions
extra
were
time.
very lengthy.
It is because the audience was distracting you with the correct answers.
Hate it when that happens.
Schmitz Park Elementary is the largest elementary in the city of Seattle?
False.
That is true. Good to know it didn't make a difference if we gave you more time. And the schooner the Denny party arrived on was called the Dismal.
The scooter, I believe they arrived in a boat.
The schooner, not a scooter. They didn't.
She's right.
I don't even know what I'm answering now, so I'll just say true.
All right. The Denny.
The answer is Eddie Vedder.
Yes. Okay. Contestant number.
What's the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Dismal. It's false. No, it was, what was it called?
That's false. That's
The
what
exact.
I said. False. False.
Oh,
yes, false is what I said.
I just want you to know Jack is going to crush you because he's over here giving me all the answers. He's like, it's the exact. All right, Connie, are you ready?
You bet.
Some of those people did not tip me, so I need some help.
Yes.
I want to know how many they're getting points for the rapid round.
5 points for each correct one.
And I got everyone right. Just to be clear.
We were discussing with the scorekeeper, so all right. How many points does Connie have presently?
1,000.
Yeah. There is no way Connie has fewer points than Michael Stusser going into the final round.
That is correct.
I've already done my, oh yeah.
All right. Okay, Connie, are you ready? 5 questions for you. The timer will start. Obviously, we don't pay much attention to it. As soon as I finish the first question. The restaurant that used to operate where Salty's is today was called the Beach Broiler.
Yep.
Yep, that's true. The Schmitz family donated the land that is now Schmitz Park on the condition that no trees be cut.
Yep.
Yep, true. Clint Eastwood was once a lifeguard on Alki Beach.
Nope.
False. He was a lifeguard in Renton on Lake Washington. Seattle's oldest continuously operating business is Forest Lawn Cemetery.
No. No.
That is true, since 1902. And West
You're
Seattle.
killing me.
No, you've got so far. Oh, I get it. I get it.
That was good. She should get the extra question. Give her the point.
We'll give her some extra time because she had to throw a little pun in.
Okay.
West Seattle is home to the first ever movie theater in the United States. True or
No.
false? That is false.
No.
That is false. A few very old theaters, but not the oldest. All right, so that's 20 points for Connie, I believe. Nicely done, Connie.
Nicely done.
Josh, are you ready?
Sure, why not?
All right, here we go. Here's your first one. Andrew Carnegie funded construction of the West Seattle Library.
True.
True, yes. Ivor Haglund was the original builder and occupant of the Alki Homestead.
False.
False. The first ferry to cross the Puget Sound went from downtown to West Seattle.
True.
True, yes, to Ferry Avenue. Alki is the Chinook word for sand.
False.
False. By and by. Thank you, Michael, for giving that one away earlier.
5 more points.
West
There we
Seattle.
go.
West Seattle businesses started a petition campaign to secede from Seattle in 1978.
True.
True, yes.
We wanted the bridge.
Did you get them all?
Yep.
It's 5 for 5? Holy cow. And now,
Homegrown.
where we stand here? Does Jack have a chance to win it all if he... Hold on, we're going to tell
If he gives everybody ice cream, he does.
Somebody just said absolute. And it's true. If Jack wins, ice cream for everyone. As soon as we wrap here, straight to Husky Deli. Would yeah. Okay, so he would he win? What's If he got 25 points.
No, I think Josh is ahead of me.
Okay. A man and a woman go into a bar. That's about as good as it. Okay, let's just do it here. All right, Jack, are you ready? 30 seconds. Look at him. Look at him all cocksure of himself. Yep. 35th Avenue Southwest is the longest straight street in Seattle.
True.
That is false. It's California Avenue.
That's rough.
The first African-American teacher in Seattle Public Schools taught in West Seattle.
True.
Yes, that is true. Actress Diane Cannon was once Miss West Seattle.
She was.
Yes, she was. The original West Seattle YMCA, built in 1924, was so small it was dubbed the Cracker Barrel.
That's true.
That is true. And finally, when the Admiral Theater... Oh, it was false. Yeah, it was called the Cheese Box. Sorry. I was just overruled by Clay over here.
Trick question.
Cracker
Barrel makes cheese.
Cheese.
You're thinking about the cheese.
Connie, this is a staunch
They
competition.
sell cheese at Husky Deli. It's very good.
And finally, Jack, we'll make this one worth 300 points. When the Admiral Theater originally opened in 1942, it had 1,000 seats.
False.
True, it had 1,000 seats. It was huge, huge. All right.
Is that true?
Now she's adding. How many did Jack get there? Jack was. I didn't do very good. He got 15 points.
15.
15 points. We're waiting for the final tally. From our scorekeeper.
I didn't
We have a tie. Ladies and gentlemen, in the inaugural round of Wait, West Seattle. Wait, don't tell me. West Seattle, don't tell me. Whatever the name of this crazy game is. We have a tie. In last place, let's start in last place. In last place, who's in last place?
That's me.
Sean throws herself on the sword. Let's give Sean a big round of applause.
The answer is Eddie Vedder. Thank you.
Second to last place goes to Josh. Josh, that doesn't seem right at all.
That doesn't seem right. I demand a recount.
It just doesn't matter.
It's got to be Stusser.
He tipped better.
Apparently so.
Hold on, she's checking her numbers. Josh is second to last place?
No one cares, Marty. No one cares. No one really cares.
As long as I get ice cream from
Is there
Jack.
money involved? No one cares.
I'd like a vanilla shake.
Didn't he? I think he got them all right. Okay, forget it. Hold on a second, people. With your indulgence, let's do the whole thing over again. All right.
Can I have new questions about Eddie Vedder?
I got Lincoln Park. Still last.
All right. Who are our two winners then? That's right.
Denigrate the
Hold on one second here. Are you aware this is Michael over here?
I think you're right. I love you.
Yeah, that can't be possible.
Nicely done.
That just doesn't seem right.
I accept. We should just give it to Connie.
All right, Connie and Michael will share the trophy that we don't have. Success. Thank you all, Jack, Josh, Connie, Sean, Michael, for participating in the first ever Wait, West Seattle, Don't Tell Me. Connie and Michael, the champions. Yes?
I like the drum roll.
Golden ticket goes to 335.
What's the name?
Lisa Toomey. Where is she? Where is she?
Give it up. She's in the way back.
Lisa, where are you? The crowd needs to see who you are.
They know that you have one extra ticket.
Lisa Toomey, ladies and gentlemen. Data Hub in the back. You met her as you checked in. Come on around. Lisa, you are now going to go on a cruise for 2 to any of 4 destinations you pick. Thank you very much. And thank all of you for coming here today. We drove this home before 2 o'clock. We really appreciate you all being here. Please stay and socialize and have some fun if you like, but thank you very much for the 2015 Champagne Gala Brunch.